Imagine this. You've just gone through all the hard work of making a well-reasoned, data-driven decision. You've defined the opportunity, explored alternatives, identified key drivers, managed risks, and crunched the numbers. You're confident in your choice, but then you present it to leadership or your team, and their response is silence. Or worse, skepticism. Why did you pick this over the other options? I don't think those numbers are right. Did you even consider X, Y, or Z? You know you did your homework, but if you don't show your work clearly and concisely, people won't trust your decision. And if they don't trust your decision, they won't support it. This final step in the decision-making framework is all about making sure that doesn't happen. The purpose of Step 7, Show Your Work, is twofold. 1. Present your decision in a way that earns support and buy-in. A well-communicated decision gets implemented faster and more effectively. If people don't understand how you reached your conclusion, they're more likely to resist it. 2. Prevent second-guessing and hindsight bias. 6 months from now, when someone asks why you made this call, you need to remember the assumptions and trade-offs you made at the time. If you don't clearly document your reasoning, people may forget or misinterpret the logic behind the decision. By following a structured approach to showing your work, you'll avoid common pitfalls and increase the likelihood that your decision gets accepted and executed successfully. Here are some common pitfalls and how to avoid them. 1. Burying the lead. When presenting your decision, it's tempting to walk through your entire analysis before getting to your actual recommendation. By the time you reach the point, your audience is already disengaged or confused about why they should care. This can lead to frustration and resistance, even if your recommendation is strong. The solution: lead with the ask. State your recommendation first, then support it with key data and points. This keeps your audience engaged and ensures they immediately understand the importance of your decision. 2. Overloading with information. You've spent hours analyzing this decision, and you want to share everything you've learned. However, your audience hasn't been as immersed in the details as you have. Dumping too much information on them at once makes it hard to focus on what really matters and can dilute your key messages. The solution: stick to the key drivers. Identify the most important assumptions and insights that directly impact the decision. Let your audience ask for additional details if needed. If you have a lot of supporting information, put it in an appendix to avoid overwhelming your primary message. 3. Not knowing your audience. Different stakeholders need different levels of detail. An executive might only need a high-level summary with financial impacts, while an engineer may want a deep dive into technical risks. If you present the wrong level of detail to the wrong audience, they may tune out or struggle to see the relevance of your decision. The solution: tailor your communication. For executives, focus on high-level impact, risk, financials, strategic fit. For technical teams, be prepared to go deeper into assumptions and trade-offs. Knowing your audience ensures your message resonates and gets the buy-in you need. Avoiding these pitfalls is just the first step. The real challenge is making sure your audience understands how you arrived at your decision. It's not enough to simply show numbers or list assumptions. You need to walk people through your thought process. That's why we use the DMF summary template, which you can access in the lesson notes. This structured format helps you tell the story of your decision, showing the logic, trade-offs, and risks considered, so that others can follow your reasoning and get on board with your recommendation. Using the Widget Turner 5000 decision as our example, we'll walk through each section of the DMF summary and explain why it matters. Section 1, the recommendation. The goal of this section is to be crystal clear about what you're asking for and why this is important. You should immediately establish the size of the opportunity and the financial impact. Here's what that would look like for our Widget Turner 5000 example. I recommend investing $1 million in capital to purchase and install a Widget Turner 5000 to automate the widget turning process. This is expected to increase production capacity by 100,000 units per year, reduce labor costs by $100,000 a year, and improve raw material yield by $80,000 per year. This project has an expected IRR of 23.9%, an NPV of $609,000, and a payback period of 3.9 years. As you can see, we led with what we're asking for, $1 million in capital, explained why, and what it's worth. The next section, the background, provides context for why we are considering this opportunity. It should briefly, and I emphasize briefly, describe the current situation, the problem we're addressing, and why solving this problem is important. In the alternatives section, we want to provide a high-level overview of the different options we explored and explain why we are recommending this one. This builds credibility by showing we didn't jump to conclusions. As you can see, we didn't list every alternative that we explored in step 2 of the DMF, just the ones that were good enough that we took them all the way through step 5. In the economic summary, we want to demonstrate the range of possible outcomes. We want to help people understand what we expect the results to be, what the best case is, and what we think the worst case might look like. This will set up the conversation for the next section, key drivers and assumptions. This section focuses on the few key variables that will determine whether the decision succeeds or fails. We also outline the risks and what we are doing to manage them. You'll notice that we have literally just copied and pasted the table that we developed in step 4, Manage Risks and Upsides, of the DMF. This will allow us to walk the team through each of the key drivers, the assumptions that we've made, the risks that we've identified, and what actions we can take to mitigate them. This is a great way to build confidence in our thought process and also focus the conversation on the few assumptions and risks that really matter the most. Finally, we outline how we will implement this decision, including clear ownership and accountability. If you use the best worst case plan template to think through this, you can copy and paste it here. Having clear next steps ensures execution and prevents bottlenecks. By structuring your DMF summary this way, you ensure clarity, accountability, and better decision making. More importantly, you make it easier for others to support and implement your decision. Great decisions don't just happen. They require thoughtful communication and engagement. In the final lesson of this course, we'll bring everything together. We'll summarize what you've learned so far and discuss the next steps you can take to apply the decision-making framework in your own organization. See you there.